as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
I've been really looking forward to actually meeting this guest for ages. His name is PJ Lopez, and he is the other half of our lovely Hannah Murray, who is a Talk Radio Europe presenter. So PJ, how nice to meet you. My name's Nicole.
Nice to meet you for once, properly, rather than in the background somewhere.
I know, we've always like coinciding in different events, loud music or busy doing something. And I've been looking forward to meeting you because you have launched a fabulous page to coordinate all the different things going on in San Pedro de Alcántara, which I think is very, very cool. However, before we talk about that, I'd like to know a bit more about you.
Okay.
I was worried today whether you would be speaking any English because your name is PJ Lopez, PJ Lopez, but then you came out with perfect English. Do you speak Spanish?
I speak a little bit of Spanish, not as well as I'd like to. I mean, I can get by in Spanish. Business level is not what I'd like it to be. You know, I can communicate and go to the shops and get things without coming back with the wrong things. But no, a lot of my history and business in Spain has always been with the UK-speaking clients.
So where did this surname come from? I mean, it's hard to get more Spanish than Lopez.
Yeah, it's hereditary. So I think back to my great-great-grandfather. So there is some Spanish in there, but obviously we were all brought up in the UK. So it goes back quite a few generations, so you know the language has never been there, and I came over here in 2003 and sort of, I suppose, come home to Spain eventually. So yeah, I've got a lot of learning to do.
Well, that's very exciting. You got married recently to the lovely Hannah Murray, so congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you two meet?
Well, we both came over here, actually at the same time, both came over in 2003, but we were with different partners back then. And eventually we got together once our relationships had broken down. And yeah, Hannah runs a weekly quiz at the Hogan Stand in San Pedro.
Lots of fun. I like quizzing. I've been a few times.
It's good fun. It's a real good atmosphere and a good community that go there. And we just got to know each other more and more and started spending more time together as great friends. We used to, you know, just hang out as friends, and then, you know, we developed and we got married last year. Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And when did this idea come about to start this page for San Pedro? Because there isn't actually anything dedicated to San Pedro. It just goes to show you there's always something that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's why we did it. I've actually had the website now for probably about 3 years, but I just started building it very, very slowly, just to put some information together, more as a sort of directory and small guide. And then I've been living in San Pedro now for I think about 4 years. Hannah and I moved down to San Pedro together, and as I think as everybody knows, it's really grown. It's gone from this sort of small village style type of place to this really blossoming cosmopolitan town that it is now. There's new restaurants, there's new beach bars, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, South San Pedro, as they call it. The first time I saw North San Pedro where the pharmacy is was hysterical. But South San Pedro's got some great hip new like galleries and these very cool restaurants.
Yeah, well, and that's, you know, the information is there. I think if you're Spanish, there's a few websites dedicated to San Pedro that you might be able to find some information. But we've got a lot more tourists now, so we've got a lot more people outside of just living in San Pedro that want to come and find out what's going on and where to eat and where to go. So that's why we started to grow the site. So I teamed up with my business partners, which are Manifesto Design. They specialise in content, and the one thing I was lacking on the site was actually creating regular content. So together with them, we now run the site together, and they write a lot of blog content. So they go out and research what's going on every week, what people should know about, and we literally put it into the site so that people can find out where to go, what's going on.
It's very important to know what's going on, but do you cover just restaurants, bars, events, or also the different roadworks and
everything.
Issues that go with San Pedro?
Yeah, it's everything. We're trying to not be too political in there, because there's a lot of political things going on in San Pedro at the moment. There's a lot of infighting. We did cover very briefly the building of the new, I think it's the new tourist office. So there was a few disputes about some trees and some things going on there. So we covered that, and we will cover that, but not in too much depth.
But those are things that, for example, those who are registered on the town census can actually get involved with and have an opinion. You might not know this, but if you are registered on your town census, the padron,
yes,
when issues come up in the local community, you can get involved, you can have a say. And there are things that I think that the neighbours do want to have a say, whether you're politically whatever
you're
intention.
Correct. I think the idea is that we will put the information up there, but obviously ourselves be very neutral in the information that goes up there, so we're not seen to be siding with one side or the other, because like anything, there's two sides to everything. You know, some people might say, well, this is fantastic, we've got a new tourist office and it's good for San Pedro, and other people that live there will say, but we love our trees and we don't want them pulled down, so we don't want it there, put it somewhere else. So, you know, there are two sides to it, but yes, of course, we will cover the information, but it's more than just restaurants and bars, as you said. There's, I think one thing that used to frustrate me is the new boulevard. You know, I'd walk down the boulevard on a Sunday afternoon and there's this huge food fair or something going on, and it's, where did this come from? I haven't seen any posters, I haven't seen any information on this. And I think that was what was lacking in San Pedro, was information for people, just general people living there as well. There isn't a site dedicated to San Pedro, so you can't really find out why there's a food fair there, when it's going to be there, what's going to happen next week on the boulevard, who's going to be at the amphitheatre, for example. You know, they've got a lovely amphitheatre there. There's some great things that go on there, but nobody knows who's there from one week to the next.
So these are the things that we can now anticipate from your website. What's the address of the website?
It's very simple. It's sanpedromarbella.eu. So
Well, very simple. So San Pedro, which is part of Marbella, sanpedromarbella.eu.
That's correct,
And
yes.
if people would like to advertise you, is that also a possibility?
Yes, it is. I mean, what we're trying to do now is really grow the content so it becomes very useful for people. I think that's like stage one. We're also very heavily on social media, so the Facebook and Instagram are our main accounts, and we're starting to get a lot of engagement on those. This morning, just before coming here, I was literally on the Facebook page to someone asking, where can I do yoga in San Pedro? So I was literally replying, we've had a blog already about yoga in San Pedro, and then let her know about some other places. So that's the sort of information that people are asking and engaging with. And then eventually the idea is that we want businesses in San Pedro, and only businesses in San Pedro. We were approached recently by a business in Estepona that wanted to be part of the guide, but they're not in San Pedro, and that's not what we want. We want people
exclusively dedicated to San Pedro.
Yeah, so, and you know, and they have to physically be here. It's not like, well, we sell property in San Pedro, can we be on there? It's not. If you sell property and you're based in San Pedro, yes, you can. If you sell property and you're not based in San Pedro, no, you can't. You know, we really want it to be a local site. And yes, people can get involved. It's more like so they can have a directory listing on there. They can have a profile, so we're literally like a mini interview about their business on there, so they get a dedicated page for that. And then we will promote them on social media throughout the year as well.
But other businesses will also get covered, even if they're not advertising as such, if there's something going on of
It's
interest.
information, so of course if there's events and things going on in businesses, we will always cover that. That's more of a commercial side, if someone wants to be commercially, so that they're actually guaranteed to get pushed out and promoted. But other than that, of course, anything, we're constantly covering new restaurants that open, and when we're out and about, because I live in San Pedro, so when I'm out and about, I'm constantly posting up photos on social media and what's going on.
I know, I'm always liking and tagging and things. And also, a few times I've bumped into you and Hannah walking around San Pedro, and you've actually been saying, hey, listen, I just tried that place and this place, and it's always, I found, very helpful to actually now have you sharing this on a larger scale with people who don't necessarily have to bump into you to ask you is a big plus.
We've got, as I said, having teamed up with Manifesto, we've got a lot more of us now that are out and about that are posting up there. So it's good as well, because you get some different sort of ways of doing it. So
and Jackie, Michelle and the team are really wonderful. So it's lovely to see #BetterTogether.
Yeah.
This joining of forces
Absolutely.
to give something better for the community.
Yeah, and it's working really well. And as you said, you know, when we go and visit a restaurant and when we like that restaurant, we want to share that with people. I think that's great that, you know, people just know that we've had a great experience and other people have had a great experience. And let's face it, so much opening up in San Pedro now. I mean, wow, how many new restaurants this year alone.
And when they want them to survive, the average time for a restaurant or a business surviving in Marbella is 18 months. If you can get past that.
I didn't know that.
Yes, unfortunately, it's a very transitional market. And so it's important to really do your homework. As you say, you take your time, make sure you set things up well so they could be long lasting. Just a quick thing before we finish and talk about long lasting. John was talking about, and my son-in-law's sister, so it's like my daughter-in-law. I'm not sure how you would. They were getting married in Marbella. It's very attractive. A lot of people are coming to Marbella to get married, and you have recently got married in San Pedro.
We did, yes.
John was asking about for his daughter and things. How was that for you? You got married in Alabardero, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was fantastic. We looked at a lot of venues, and when we saw that one and we had the meeting, we saw the venue itself, and we fell in love with it. It's on the beach in San Pedro. Literally, you can't get any closer to the beach. They've got an outdoor area with a tree, so we got married under an olive tree that they hung lanterns on and things. And yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, we love San Pedro, you know, so to get married there as well was fabulous. It was great because it's outdoors, even though it was. Well, actually, it's September, so it was warm, but not too warm.
Not too warm, not like today's weather.
Photos on the beach and everything. So yeah, we loved it. It's a fabulous venue. Highly recommend it.
Could you actually get married here, or did you have to go to Gibraltar?
I mean, you can get married
between
here.
The Yoko Ono and the John Lennon and Yoko Ono getting married.
We followed in the
Gibraltar
Beatles' footsteps. Yeah. No, we did do Gibraltar for the official part of it, and then we had the ceremony in San Pedro. So. When we celebrate our anniversary, the official part is the one from Gibraltar, but in our hearts, the one that we really got married at was obviously in San Pedro.
Where there's a will, there is a way.
Absolutely.
Love that blossomed in Marbella and is growing and is lovely. As I say, to actually have a chance to meet you. As I said, I thought he was Spanish and I didn't know he spoke any English, and we've been bumping each other for at least a year or so, if not more.
Yeah. But, no, well, it's been great to. I mean, your support and supporting you where we can as well. I think that's what it's all about here. I don't think it happens enough, and you know, hopefully more businesses that want to survive will come together and help each other. And I think, you know, you're certainly right behind that and helping that grow. So no, thank you for the invitation.
Instead of fearing each other, we need to embrace each other.
Absolutely.
Because we've got a lot to offer. We've all got something very, very special, even if we do the same thing. We've all got our unique thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely to meet you,
you
PJ.
Too. Thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure. So it's San Pedro, Marbella.eu?
.eu, yeah, and then you'll see all the social media accounts off the back of that.
Perfect. See you there.
Thank you.
In San Pedro.
Absolutely.
Alcantara.
Alcantara.
Hey, hey.
Free taxi 4 times a month and 25% discount on your car insurance if you're the Zero Hero.
I was ever so pleased to hear that the teatro, the wonderful dining theatre experience, will drive you home if you need to not have you drinking and driving. These are wonderful incentives which complement our Zero Hero incentive. Together with the Road Traffic Safety Foundation, Línea Directa, and the car insurance company, Línea Directa, we're really doing a lot to try and make more awareness in our Marbella community that we are 147 different nationalities signed on the town census, and we're all driving on the same 27-kilometre stretch of road, any which way but loose, which means we are kind of at risk, particularly if we're going out to dine and then have a drink and then get in our cars. We might be over the limit without realising it. So places like the harbour, the Playwrights, Beckett's, the Boardwalk, the Red Chiringuito, the Kempinski Bayer Hotel, the Urban Villa, the Hard Rock Cafe, and so many more I can't think right now. Babylonia, Tibu, the Portside are becoming part of this Zero Hero project. If you go out with your friends and you're the designated driver, they're not going to charge you for your soft drinks. Why be punished for doing the right thing? If you have a business that would like to get involved with this project, please contact us. us, because all participating businesses will be supported not only by Me Marbella Radio and Marbella Now with our TV Marbella and the Town Hall, but also will be given extra coverage in newspapers like RTN, Euroweekly and the Marbella Rocks magazine, which have been the first to jump on board with this fabulous incentive. We are #so much better together.
Hey, hey.
It's going to be a long, hot summer, and if you're not sure what to do with your children during the holidays, why not bring them to the Royal Maritime Club here in the Marbella Harbour to learn perhaps a bit of sailing? Many options here in Marbella to keep you entertained and your family. That's it for this evening. We hope you enjoyed our show. If you've got any questions, please do contact us. You can contact us through our website, marbellanowtv.com, or through the Facebook pages. We'll be back tomorrow with more guests, more information about our fabulous city. In the meanwhile, take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other. See you tomorrow.
It's a brand new day.